Welcome to the Marketo API crash course taught by me, Pretorius. The overarching goal of this course is to get you comfortable using the Marketo API by walking you through a number of real-life marketing operation scenarios where you can use the API to streamline and automate your workflows. Before I dive into the course content, I first wanted to give you an introduction to myself. So I've been using Marketo since 2019 for over 7 years now. I am both expert and architect certified, and I'm a 3-time Marketo champion. But most importantly, I've been using the Marketo API for about 6 years now, and I really had a baptism of fire when I was learning how to use the API, and I was able to translate that baptism of fire into a very structured learning process, which will make it a lot easier for you to follow in my footsteps and learn all the Marketo API skills that I have gained. So now that you know a bit about me, and you do know and can trust that I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Marketo API, let's see what is in the course content. The Marketo API crash course is comprised of 5 different lessons. Each lesson will take you between 1 to 2 hours to complete, so it should take you between 6 to 7 hours to finish all 5 lessons. Lesson number 1 will show you how to use the Postman testing tool to make your first GET and POST requests, and then we'll see how to transition from making a request in Postman to making a request in a programming language. This will then enable us to build automation workflows in iPaaS tools like Zapier or in programming scripts like Python. Lesson number 2 covers merging duplicates via API. And then in lesson number 3, we will see how we can facilitate program cloning automation by using the API to interact with programs, campaigns, folders, and tokens. Next, in lesson number 4, we'll see how we can automate our newsletter creation process from end to end by using the API to create an email and then populate the email content. Finally, in lesson number 5, we're going to see how we can use the bulk extract API to extract large amounts of lead and activity data from Marketo, which will enable us to do things like find the best send time for each lead in our database based on historic email activity. Then, once you've done all of this, you will have earned the Marketo API crash course certificate, which you will be able to access through lesson number 6. Let's take a sneak peek at how a lesson is set up. At the start of every lesson, we've got an overview video, a lesson summary, and then we've got all the resources that will be covered in the subsequent subsections. All the subsections of a lesson are located at the bottom. And we can see that these subsections are formatted the same way. There is a video in every subsection, and these videos will be very hands-on. The idea is that you follow along and make the same API requests. Make the same API requests that I am making in the video. And just to make sure that you're paying attention, there will be a quiz at the end of every subsection. And then in order to progress to the next subsection, you will need to complete this quiz. And then once you've completed all the subsections in a lesson, towards the end, I will show you how you can take things to the next level and embed these API requests in Zapier workflows or Python scripts so that you can automate repetitive processes like UTM tracking programs or merging duplicates in bulk. Once you complete all 5 of these lessons, you will then get access to lesson number 6, which just contains a congratulatory video. And once you complete this short feedback quiz, you will then gain access to your certificate, which will contain the date you completed the course. So then you can use this in your LinkedIn certification and also use this as a backdrop for a post that you make on LinkedIn. I want all enrollees of the Marketo API crash course to have somewhere to come to ask any questions they have and also to connect with other people who have taken the course. That's why I created this Slack community, so that people can come in here to ask any questions they have about the course or any of the blog posts that I have on my site. And then if you're curious about taking any of the other courses that I have, like the AI for RevOps, the Demystify the API, or the Python for RevOps course, then you can come into these other channels and you can ask for people's opinions to see what they thought of these other courses. Then finally, You also get DM access to yours truly. Taking the Marketo API crash course will be a game changer for your career. It will allow you to automate and streamline the repetitive and mundane tasks that suck up time in your day-to-day. This will allow you to focus more on the strategic projects that will move both you and your company forward. And it's not only me that thinks this. I've got over 20 different testimonials from people who have told me how transformative this course has been for them in their career. So feel free to go through all of these testimonials to see what other people think of the course and hopefully to give you the conviction you need to go ahead and purchase. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you in lesson number 1.